maybe let's say you're in a relationship for 8 years. Maybe the first 4 years, it's a lot of stuff messed up with this person.
Sure.
All right, so you deal with it. Then you go through your wave. They get it right. You
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
Yeah.
Like, you dealing with a person for so long, and you feel like some people do it out of spite, and some people do it because that's just the cycle of life, the cycle of a human being.
I know, bro.
And then a lot of people be like, well, oh, now that I'm finally giving you this, it's too little too late. And I feel like most people are like that, too little too late. When I was fighting for this, when I was asking for this, when I was telling you that I felt like this was how it should have been, why couldn't you give it to me then? But now you want to give it to me and I don't want to receive it, so now you're upset.
Yes. Don't wait. See, bro, but that's that whole taking people for granted thing.
That's exactly what it is.
Bro, it's kind of like how, to be honest, I just got over being sick, and I feel like I appreciate life like never before. It's sad that we need...
Man, it's so sad. Man, go ahead, man. You're so right, man.
Like, why
so right.
We need them? Like I was commenting one time, we need those brushes with our mortality, and sometimes relationships need brushes with their mortality. It's like when somebody sees that you're not gonna put up with it anymore, and you're ready to break up.
That's when they get their act together. Like, I guess, like you just said, touching on that, be dog sick, and then after you heal, you're like, oh man. The breathing air is so refreshing. Being able to taste this food. Oh, I can eat this soup every day. Real, and I hate soup. I can eat this soup every day because I can taste it and swallow it without being pain.
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm going to drink more water.
Yes.
Man, I love life. It's sad that you have to go through your lungs being inflamed and your nose being clogged up and your eye, you coughing out your lungs and having fevers for you to realize that life is good. Yes.
That's that perspective, bro. And so that's why acquiring that without the sickness is an exercise, man.
Yes.
It doesn't just sprout or like naturally just because you want it. You can't be like, I don't want to take things for granted. You can't just say in today, I don't want to take things for granted. And then it just happens. It's like you have to actively seek not to take people for granted. You got to remember, like, I remember when I used to tell Tosh, man, you know the Elephant Man? You know the story about the elephant
movie?
Yeah. But he's a real person, right?
Yeah.
And then so one time, I told her, I said, can you, like, I asked her to print out for me some pictures of him. And I, like, in Elephant Man, anybody don't know, super disfigured. Yeah. And he looks really messed up.
Really messed up.
Yeah, really messed up. And I taped it, like, next to my mirror. Because I was like, I taped it next to my mirror. So when I go by my mirror, it ain't on some vanity stuff. And I could look at him and remember how I could have been him. Yes. It's merely just
a reminder of where you are right now. Yes, you want to get better. Yes, you want to do better. But you're not as worse off as someone else. It's not as bad. And,
what we got to complain about,
with people and even more relationships, we like to compare. Let me tell you what I went through so bad last year. I worked long days, man. And what I went through was, man, I look on Facebook and Instagram. Damn, they on another plane to Costa Rica. They going to Jamaica. They going to Aruba. They going to the Caribbean. They going to Bahamas, Puerto Rico. They Cali, New York, wherever. Miami. Damn, again this month. What am I doing that's differently than what they're doing? I'm talking about. I'm seeing some of the people that I helped in school, make it through school, giving them answers to tests. Yeah. So how are you at this point of success? And I'm still working like a dog, barely paying my bills. And at the end of the day, after I pay my bills, I'm considered broke because I can't go nowhere because I paid all my bills. The light's still on. My car's still drivable. It ain't been repossessed. But I can't do anything because I don't have the finance to do it.
You know what that is, though, right?
What is it, man?
That'd be the debt fairy.
Yeah.
The debt fairy comes around and is like, you want to go on this? You want to go on this vacation? Yeah, just give it up. Just give me that. I'll take the credit card. But people, I hope you know that most people are who are doing, because like you think it's counterintuitive. If you see somebody doing something like super recreational and going somewhere that you think luxurious, that you would think that they financially plan for wisely. You know that so many of them people are in debt like a mug.
And you know what? Also, I put like this: if there was a room of 100 people that did that, I say maybe 20% of it have the means to actually do that.
Sure.
And so you're putting on this show for life and social media, and so I feel like that is why you have to, at the end of the day, know your worth. Because I went through that so bad. I had so many conversations with my mother. Well, why I'm not doing this? My friend LaShawn. I'm like, LaShawn, like, what is it about me that, you know, people tell me, oh, you're such a good person, you're a great person, thank you for always being here, do it, whatever. But that's not translating into me having more money or better opportunities or getting to go all these different places. Mm-hmm. And I also know it falls on me too because of how I do utilize and spend my money, my own money. So I can't. So I used to be like, you know what, man, your time is gonna come, and who knows what some of these people had to do to do this type of stuff.
Bro, I mean, listen, I ain't throwing shade at nobody. I'm just stating facts. I just know the people that pop in my head who are, it may not be you, but who are avid vacation goers, if they're not in debt, they are not happy, and that's not the vacation. To me, like, I don't see the joy in planting your feet in a different geographic location where the sun is shining and the ocean sounds great, but you still, like, you ain't right here and here. It's just like, how's the fun in that, man? Like, when you're not out there conversing with the locals, you know, you're in a different setting. Like, I don't know what's so titillating and stimulating about that, other than to showcase it so people can envy it and admire it. I don't know if people really are enjoying it, man, because then I hear statements like, "We gotta go back to reality and stuff."
Yeah,
let this be
an extension. Let this
an extension of your right, man. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I do feel like, especially in this society, in this first world country, for the majority of the people, if you can't be happy, if you can't find happiness in a room with a loved one in silence, then you shouldn't be seeking happiness anywhere else until you figure out why you can't find happiness with a loved one in silence, or why you can't even find contentment just on your own, for that matter. I feel like you should be happy first. I don't feel like these things should be the cure to your happiness.
No.
You know, like, and I feel like that's what it is. The cure to your dissatisfaction. And that's what I see it be, man.
Yeah. It's not that. It's just a boost, a steroid, and mm-hmm. It's not the extension is not, but it's the total opposite of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, you're going from hot to cold, cold to hot.
Yes.
It should be just, okay, it got hotter or it got colder.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm still growing when it comes to life and accepting what is and knowing what I want to do, where I want to go, and what I want to be. Yeah. I'm still growing when it comes to that, man, because it gets hard on this journey. If you know me, if you know of me, oh, Joe, who's that? Boy, I want to be a doctor. You gonna know I want to be a doctor. I aspire to be a doctor at some point in life. It hasn't been on my timing. Yes, it's been discouraging. Yes, it's been frustrating. Yes, I was born into this deep hole of poverty and still climbing out of that hole. But I used to let all that stuff weigh me down. I broke my leg in 2012. I'm never going to be the same from that. And, you know, I still have debt that I'm still paying off. But I realize, and I'm only 26. Mm-hmm. I'm only 26 years old. You couple that with the different roles and different hats that I play as not only an older brother, but the head man of a household of three younger brothers. Yeah. So I have to set the example for them, be that role model. I can never be their father, but I have to be more than just a big brother. Sure. I don't know what the term is for that. Mentor, big brother, mentor, best friend, discipline, whatever you want to call it. I'm all of that. I wear all those hats. And still, I go out and I have to work hard every day and earn everything that I want to be and accomplish everything that I want to do, because regardless of what my situation is, I'm not going to be just handed that degree. I'm not just going to be elevated or climb that ladder just because, oh, well, yeah, he has had a tough life. I don't even look, you know what's crazy, man? I don't even look at it as a tough life anymore. It's so normal to me now. It's not even funny. It's normal. And some people say that's sad. Oh, that's so sad. That's so disheartening. And I've had this conversation. People have sympathy. Don't have sympathy for me.
Yeah.
What don't break me, make me. What don't break me makes me better. Makes me stronger. And that's why I'm able to handle more things than the average Joe, because of my life experiences and what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So then when I do get around people that I work with or go to school with, or, you know, even at church or just straight, and they complain, I'm not saying no complain. We all complain. We all have that one moment where we complain. But when I see these people every day, and after good morning or after hello or good afternoon, it's a complaint.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying I see you every day. It's something at home, it's something in your life that you need to change or fix.
For real, man. You know, and there's the complaining. To me, there's like that productive, healthy complaining is therapeutic. You're venting, and it leads you to a place where at the end of that complaining road, it's like a revelation of sorts, an epiphany or something, like, okay, I need to do this. Like, complaining about this and that. So, like, don't talk about problems without talking about solutions, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, why can't it just be that? Because sometimes, like, I have issues with that too. When people do just complain, and that's it though. It's like, now complaining, I have nothing against it, but like, you have to, complaining to me always it's always a yin and a yang kind of thing. It always needs to be accompanied by, almost always, maybe not always, maybe not, but almost always needs to be accompanied by some kind of resolution of sorts or something. It's like
I read this the other day. Everybody has problems, but no one has a solution.
Yeah,
I always coming to you with a problem, but I never can come to you and say, hey, I solved this. Hey, I feel like I cracked the code on this.
For real, bro.
Man, and that's why I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, I got on that strain, good vibes only. Yeah. Good vibes only. That's my mantra. I stick by that, man. And it died down a little bit last year. I hit some friction, some turbulence in life. But you gonna always have that. Definitely. But good vibes only. It's not just a movement. It's my way of life, man. In every situation, I try to see the good. And not just try to see it, try to breathe. I try to feel it. And I try to spread that to other people. Because there's so much negativity out here. It's so many different conflicts and internal battles that people are dealing with in life, that they fail to realize, man, just by opening your eyes this morning, simply opening your eyes this morning, you should be happy. I'm not saying be content and say, oh, my eyes, I go back to sleep. That's not life, but be happy. Man, I was laid up in a bed for 3 months. I had to go to school in August. I broke my leg. September. So I say 2 months. I broke my leg July the 15th. I never forget, because it was 2 days after Friday the 13th. It was a Sunday. I broke my leg, man. Totally unexpected. And I laid up in bed, man. I had time to think. I noticed who called me, who didn't call me, who texted me, who didn't text me, who came to see me, who prayed for me. Everything. I had to go to school. Every day, man, I'm thinking to myself, I'm on these crutches and in this boot. Will I ever walk again? Will I ever have feeling in my leg again?
Yes.
And that was so devastating, but I needed that to happen to me. And people say you crazy. I'm thankful that happened to me, because that made me appreciate life so much more and realize these small things, these material things, these temporary things are just that, temporary.
Man, and it's, and that's why sometimes I'm like, damn, when people who haven't had certain kinds of like traumatic situations like that happen, I guess I can see why they don't have perspective or whatnot, because I also I have two similar events that changed me forever and that sort of slap me in the face every now and then when I am in an ungrateful, entitled state. Like I was stuck in my attic for 3 days during Hurricane Katrina. That helped me so much. That helped accelerate my growth. And then like 3-4 years later, my best friend's girlfriend dies of cancer. She was 25. They come back from Spain. She's talking about my stomach hurt. 2 weeks later, she's dead. And so it's like, man, what the hell? Like, why am I not appreciating the love of the people? It is so, it's an exercise though. Obviously, the brain left to its own device, left to its own habits and automaticity, man, we just relax and just look at everything as like we deserve something. We deserve
everything that we have. We deserve it.
Yeah,
that's what's supposed to have that.
Right. It's funny because it's like that. This society is the most spoiled poor people I've ever seen, bro. You could be poor as hell as a kid and be like, why didn't I get that?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When you hear old people talk about, I was lucky if I got like
I didn't have my own room until I went to college, man.
Yeah.
I didn't have my own room, my own bed for a yearly basis until I got to college.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing my family, no. We struggled together, but we made it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have my own bed until I went to college. And then I get to college to see people that grew up in Sugarland and Fresno and Pearland and the Woodlands and parts of Humble. Just, you grew up in this and you want to get to college and act a fool and portray a thug. I grew up in the hood with thugs and gangsters and drug dealers, notorious drug dealers. That doesn't mean that I had to be that and that's what I wanted to be. And you want to come here and try to portray that, and son, your dad came to pick you up in a Bentley this weekend.
Man. I see that in New Orleans, we got a part of New Orleans East. This is like a suburban black neighborhood, and so many of the quote unquote most hood dudes. It'd be so funny. I'd see that contrast. I see some of the most, especially as I left New Orleans, going towards me leaving it after Katrina. But like some of the most hood dudes came from this black suburb in New Orleans, and then some of the most non-hood dudes came from the actual hood. They were just the most normal dudes and well-adjusted dudes, and went on to actually do good, right things. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just that love affair that the black community tends to have with that
one aspect of life, man.
Yeah,
that one aspect of life,
especially youth, I should say.
The youth really, because and they're so low, and they just want to be that. Just like when other cultures try to listen to thug rap and all that until it's time to be about their life, and it's like, oh no, I'm Christian. I wasn't trying to do that. I don't even know. Nah, you listen to these songs, you want to act like that's what you are, but when it's time to justify that, to prove that, oh no. I want to tiptoe out of it. I ain't about that life anymore.
For real, bro. And one observation I made too, for people who are about that life, this is a funny thing to me. When I see dudes brag about, when I used to see like videos of certain guys talk about how they'll do this and that and how they about their life and they'll shoot you. It's so interesting how that empowers us and makes one feel like a man. Because the reason why it's interesting is because what the power comes from the fact that they have a gun and they can use a gun. It's so funny is that there's countless news reports here and there about like random little fragile nerdy kids killing people, shooting up entire schools. And so what I say is that like you could be the most cowardly, flimsy, nerdy dude on earth and still take a life. That don't make you. How does that make you strong?
That doesn't make you.
Anybody has the damn power. I said one time, anybody has the power to take a life.
Anybody.
If we were talking about sheer physicality, then maybe we can get to talk like the bragging rights about that. But even then, you can't. I'll tell you what, man. I saw this little MMA documentary thing about like covering various people who were amateur MMA fighters. And there's one dude, he was a white boy, he was going to college. He looked so like, goofy. He looked, he looked a typical white guy, maybe even less so. And dude whooping ass. And so even then you can't make judgments like that. So man. I love our definition of what makes a man in terms of his strength. Like I love that, like in the hood and stuff, that's where strength comes from. You being the alpha male, you being able to take a life with a gun, or you being able to hurt somebody with your physicality, imposing your will upon another person. But all that's a joke because we got that here, And then, but y'all are all oppressed and slaves to the system and at the mercy of the system. Because when them cops roll around, who you harder than? You ain't harder than nobody no more. Man. You know, like I'm gonna say the white man, the system got the hood under its thumb, and yet like who are we fighting? Like, why black people fighting other black people?
Why are we fighting each other?
That don't make no damn sense. It's so, you know what? Actually, it's super cowardly, man. It's the height of cowardice, I feel. For you to, if you want to be truly powerful, fight against your oppressors. Yeah. Don't fight against your neighbor.
Don't knock this block down and now we lost that block, so we can't even build up no more. This block, I killed this man, so this block gone.
For real.
Now I don't have nobody to help me stand on. I don't have nobody to stand on, or I can't put this man above me to help him get to that point.
Yes.
And it's like, you know, we just steady taking bricks out the pyramid.
Yeah,
we just steady taking bricks out the pyramid. Instead of building up, we doing this. We just going down. Yeah. And it's like, when does it stop? When does it end? And I remember, man, and I'm not gonna lie, January and this month, I have been stopped by each month I have been stopped by a police officer.
Jeez.
I didn't get a ticket, but I have been stopped for what I feel is a BS reason. I don't even want to call it racial profiling. I'm just going to say a BS reason.
Sure.
Oh, you were going 76 and a 75. Really, officer? Really, officer? For real? Oh, and coming, it'll be, technically you can, yeah, I understand legally, but really, officer.
Nah, man.
Now, we going down the street, the traffic is going, it's a 35 mile per hour speed limit. The traffic going 45 miles per hour. They say you go with the flow of the traffic. I'm going with the flow of traffic. You an officer, you just so happen to come out the parking lot of a corner store. You pull up beside me. You look at your speedometer. You scream and shout at me through my window like I'm some type of dog or criminal. You don't say, hey, sir, slow it down. Hey. Explicit. The speed limit is 35. I was like, all right, sir. I slow down. You slow down with me to make sure that I'm going 35 miles per hour now. And if I don't slow down quick enough, if I don't jam my brakes, you about to pull me over, and that's going to be a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, especially as young black men, we have to get to the point to where, I'm not saying we go attack officers, but our life need to be in a good enough place to where we feel like when we see a police officer, we are not afraid.
Yeah.
Because I always get a chill. When I deal with a police officer, a chill goes from the top of my head to the bottom of my top. A chill just instantly hits me like, oh, man, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I should be able to walk around with my chest out and my head up and be like, hey, that's an officer. He's a person. Cool, whatever. If I'm not doing nothing wrong, he shouldn't be able to say nothing to me.
Right.
On my end, I should be able to do that. Because the officer going to do what the officer going to do regardless. But we don't live the lives. A lot of us don't live the lives to be that confident in knowing that we shouldn't be messed with.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they know they ain't got their license, their registration on them. And so they can't be. I saw this one video with a dude, and the cop was out of line, but I could tell why the dude was initially after hearing this one line why he was so neurotic, the black dude behind the wheel, because he didn't. The cop was like, "Let me see your registration." He's like, "I don't have it." He's like, "I don't have it," and I was like, "Oh, that's why." So I was like, because it needs to be that to have that confidence, man. I'm not. Here's the thing: you could do everything right, and the cop will still kill you.
I mean,
no doubt.
That is we're not even discussing it.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. But let's try to do right to.
For ourselves.
Don't
do right for the cop. Do right for yourself. Period.
Yeah, man, that needs to be promoted. Like, it's not even about because I think it's crazy, man. Because I have so many pet peeves with the black community to where I know some people, because I know the thing is, I know how people are, man. They don't want to hear this stuff. But I'm saying the same way that you're feminized and sort of you're emasculated for like pursuing intellectual things if you live in a black area. Like you call at lunch and at your high school, you're reading a book or some or whatever. They see what you're listening to. You listening to some rock band. Like you trying to be white. You trying to be white. At least you know what now. And because there's this idea that my point is a lot of black people had this idea that if you do things such as do what's right and what you need to be doing, license registration. School no, I was about to say you're trying to please white people.
No,
yeah,
not the case.
Yeah, you're trying to. A lot of things they say like you're trying to be white or you're trying to please white people.
Yeah, that's where that phrase comes.
You know what's crazy, bruh? If somebody just posted up a little meme, I ain't gonna take out my phone, but I think I screenshot it. Posted up a little meme where I had Carlton. They had the words, the little caption. You remember I saw on Fresh Prince? I think Jazz was getting on Carlton for not being black enough. Yeah. And he was like, and he said I'm not. He said blackness is not. He said black is not what I'm trying to be.
They went in an apartment. Yeah.
He said Carlton said and it was cool. But he said black is not what I'm trying to be. It's what I am. And like you're the one pigeonholing me. You're the one
just
putting
because
me.
You have this certain perspective and definition of what black is.
Right.
Yeah. Because it was another episode when they joined their fraternity. On there,
I think
it wasn't the same, but the dude was treating Carlton bad because he felt like Carlton came from the rich neighborhood and everything, and Will just got a pass. And so Carlton stood up for himself, and Will was like, "I'm not gonna be in the fraternity because, we're different, but we're both black."
Right. See, that's why we got this distorted idea of what black
is.
Oh
bro. Man,
people just
it's very distorted.
It's black is quite simply put. You're black.
If
you have a drop of African blood in you, that's perceivable.
You're black.
You're black. Like it's that simple. It's not even. If people say being black is being this, but it's like no, you're black no matter what, whether you like it or not.
You're black.
Yeah, you're black.
Even if you feel like you're Stacey Dash, you're black.
Yeah. Like but I say, and like I was thinking about a scenario yesterday. I was thinking about like. If a black person grew up in an Asian community, let's say he was adopted by an Asian family, grew up in an Asian community, should he be faulted for not embracing black culture, but instead seeing himself as Asian? And I would say no. This black person, let's say he became famous and he became an actor, and people loved him very much, and then somebody asked him about black history or something and he's like, I don't really, I grew up around nothing but Asians, and I really don't relate to black people. But I have nothing against them, whatever. Like, there'd be and I was thinking, like, would that be bad? Would that be wrong of him to say or understandable of him to say? And I think the conclusion I came to was just that I guess it's healthy and fine if he just recognizes that as far as society's definition of black.
I'm not black.
Yeah, as far as, it's interesting. As far as black people's definition of black.
Yeah, I'm not black.
You're not black.
Yeah, as far as society.
But non-black people, you black. I'm saying.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Because other cultures, you black. You're like, yes. I get.
But black people will consider you not black if you're not acting a particular kind of black way. But non-blacks say you're black because they're going by the real definition of black, which is just you black because you look it.
You black.
Black. If you look like you got African in you, you black. And I don't think people understand that's what black. But then it means something more when we talk about like the culture, generally speaking. Anyway, man.
That was a fireside chat for y'all.